Okay. Last time we ended Ilioneus' speech, and here it ends. Talibus Ilioneus, with such things, Ilioneus, cuncti simul ore fremebant Dardanidai. All at once the Trojans cheer with their faces, with their mouths. That means basically out loud. And here is Dido's response. Tum breviter Dido, voltum de missa profatur. I think other texts have voltum like this. Then, briefly, Dido. Demissa, voltum, demissa, perfect passive participle, having been cast down, referring to Dido. Voltum is accusative of respect. So it's having been cast down with respect to her countenance. So that's kind of like you could translate that with downcast expression or something like that. This is Latin using the passive voice to imitate it, passive participle and an accusative of respect to imitate something like the Greek middle voice. So then Dido briefly, with downcast expression, having been cast down as to her expression, speaks forth. Solvite corde metum taucri secludite curas. Relieve or remove fear from your heart, Trojans. Secludite curas. Exclude anxiety, or like keep your cares away. Res dura et regni novitas me talia cogunt moliri. The harsh matter, the harsh thing, my harsh situation, and the newness of my kingdom compel me to contrive such things. What such things? Like stopping people from landing on the beaches and taking new immigrants in as captives only because she is in a dire situation and because her kingdom is new and threatened. Does she do such things? Et late finis custode tueri. And two that compel me. These things also compel me to watch my borders far and wide by means of a guard. Otherwise, borders would not be such a big deal. Quis genus Aeneadum, quis Troiae nesciat urbem, virtutesque virosque tantin cendia belli. What? No, who? There's the subject. Where's the verb? Nesciat. So who does not know? And then you're going to have quis twice. So this is an emphatic question because of the anaphora there. Who does not know the race of the Aeneadae, of the descendants of Aeneas? Who does not know the city of Troy? Virtutesque, another object of Nesciat. Who does not know their, tempting to say virtues here, but it's probably not virtues, more like manlinesses. You might say heroics. Who does not know of their heroics? Who does not know the heroics? The men and the men. Autantin cendia belli, or the fires of so great a war. So Doi, who hasn't heard of the Trojan War? It's famous all over the world, apparently, or at least all over the Mediterranean. Non obtusadeo gestamus pectora poini. We Phoenicians, we Punics, we Carthaginians we wear hearts not so obtuse, not so dull. So what does that mean? Like, we're not so insensitive to your sufferings. We Punics do not bear hearts so dulled to that extent. Nec versus equos tyria sol jungit ab urbe. Nor, subject is over here, and there's the verb. Nor does the sun yoke horses, nor does Sol, the god of the sun, nor does the sun yoke his horses. Versus agrees with Sol. So turned away. Ablative of separation here. Let's make that look an ablative. Tyria goes with ab urbe. Nor does the sun yoke his horses, so turned away from the Tyrian city, from the city of Tyre, which is Carthage. What does that mean? It means we are not so out of touch with the rest of the world. We hear rumors and reports from all over the Mediterranean too. We're not so far that we don't see the sun. The sun is thought to make his course across the sky in a chariot. That's why he doesn't yoke his horses, right? He yokes his horses not so far away. That is, the sun crosses over here too. So vos hesperiam magnam Saturnia quarva si vericis finis regem quoptatis acestein. Okay, there's our verb that we need. Whether you, subject, desire great Hesperia, that's Italy, and the Saturnian fields. So Italy is also thought to be Saturnian, so this is also Italy. Or the borders, that's finis, so that's accusative. Or the borders of Eryx, that's a mountain in Sicily. And King Acestain, so that's the guy who they said they had back in Sicily, whom they left back in Sicily. So whether you want to go to Italy or whether you want to go to Sicily, auxilio tutus de mittam opibusque iuabo, I will send you there safely by means of help, and I will help you with resources. Vultis et this is interesting. Vultis, or if you prefer, vultis et his mecum pariter considere regnis. So our text has this as a question. Some people have it as a question. Apparently, some people think of it as a statement. Let's think of it as a question because that's what our book has. Do you wish even to reside with me on equal terms in these kingdoms? So this is an offer. If it's not a question, it would go something like, perhaps it's like a maybe or something like that. I'm not sure how that would work exactly, but okay. So, do you want to stay here with me? She's giving them a third option: go to Italy, go to Sicily, or hey, why not hang out here? Urbem quam statuo vestrast subducite navis. Which city I am building, that's my verb, so it's Westrast, is yours. Westra is agreeing with this kind of thing that is sort of happening here. If this were prose, it would probably say urbs, and you would get rid of this. The city which I am building is yours. This would be the relative clause for going from here to here. This would be part of the main clause, the subject of the verb est, and Westra predicate, right? But instead, no. Vergil takes that antecedent, puts it inside the relative clause so that this is acting like one of those special uses of the relative clause. which city I am building is yours. The subject of est is still an implied urp, so that's why vestra is feminine and nominative. Subducite navis. Draw up your ships. This also is navis, so accusative. Trojan and Tyrian will be considered, will be led, in my opinion, this is a sort of a referential dative. Trojan and Tyrian will be considered, will be led for me with no discrimination. So I won't discriminate against Tyrian or Trojan. You'll be considered like the same people, and we will mix our nations and become one nation here in this lovely city which I happen to be building right now. Doesn't that seem like a good idea? At quutinam rex ipse noto compulsus eodem ad foret Aeneas. When you see that thing right there, you know right away what's happening in the sentence, and your editor has even helped you out with this cool exclamation point right there so that you know that you're looking for a subjunctive, and that subjunctive is going to be an optative subjunctive. Where is it? Boom, it's right there. That's a funny looking verb, isn't it? Okay, so we have to unpack that verb. We assume it's subjunctive. We'll double check. We also have to know what tense it is because optative subjunctives come in 3 tenses. Remember what they are? Present tense means it's an if only would. That's a wish in the present time that can be fulfilled. Imperfect tense means if only were. That's a wish in the present time which cannot be fulfilled. And then there's the pluperfect, which is an if only had, and that's in the past time, that a wish in the past time that cannot be fulfilled. So what is ad foret? You have to understand where that comes from. You may remember this thingy. Fore equals futurum esse, and that's a long U if you care. So futurum esse is the future active infinitive. The important bit there is that it is an infinitive. So this comes from sum, right? So when you say ad foret, it's ad futurum esse. So the verb is ad sum, which means be present. It's the opposite of absum, be absent. So if you have ad sum and instead it's ad fore, that means it's ad futurum esse with an ending on it. It's ad futurum esset. So what's that? Essentially, think of it this way. It's an infinitive. Yes, it's a future active infinitive with an ending on it to make it subjunctive, but it's essentially the same thing as if you put an ending on an infinitive. If you put an ending on a present infinitive, it's the imperfect subjunctive. Treat this like it's an imperfect subjunctive, okay? So ad foret, imperfect subjunctive, means that this is an optative subjunctive that's an if only were, a present time incapable of fulfillment. So, going back, what's the subject? Aeneas. So this is an and if only Aeneas were present. Okay, so the whole thing. At quutinam rex ipse noto compulsus eodem ad foret Aeneas. And if only the king himself, Aeneas, driven by the same south wind, were present. So she is also wishing that he were here. And in fact, certainly at least, perlitora certos, dimit et Libiae lustra extrema eubebo. At the very least, I will send certos, reliable men, sure men through the shores. And I will order them to comb the edges of Libya, of Carthage. Si quibus ejectus silvis aut urbibus erat. If he is wandering, having been ejected, having been tossed out in some forests or cities. Remember that quibus, after si nisi numine, all the alis go away. So this is actually ali quibus. So it's in any forests or cities. So she's saying, don't worry about it, guys. Solvite corde metum. Don't be afraid. If you want to go to Italy, I'll help you. If you want to go to Sicily, I'll help you. Or, hey, better than that, what if you stay here with me? And that'll be fun. Boy, I wish Aeneas were here too. I'll go and help you look for him. Thanks very much.